What's up, everybody? The One Shadavinsky coming at you today with a commentary on a topic, specifically a game that just kind of surfaced in the last couple of days. I haven't heard about it before, and it's called H1Z1. So we'll jump into that topic in just a little bit. Before I jump into that, I wanted to talk about this gameplay is just Dayz Standalone. This is actually quite a while back, like I want to say a month ago at least. You know, it might have been even longer. This was right when the game just came out. And so this is quite a couple patches behind where we're at right now. Also, I wanted to kind of like put this in here, but recently, actually it was this Tuesday, I released a video on Oculi Arts. And if you don't follow my Twitter, you should. Gets all the updates of when I am uploading videos and stuff that I'm going to be talking about in the next videos. So to do that, it's going to be in the description. But you should also subscribe to Oculi Arts. We uploaded a video. It's kind of a music-esque video. My cousin approached me with some ideas and some poetry specifically, and I crafted a beat. Next day we spent the day shooting, and then I spent Sunday editing, getting it all together, and released it on Tuesday. Actually, within about 2 days, we're sitting just over 200 views, which is actually really impressive. My most viewed video is at 289 views, and this video is pushing that in like a week, which I'm grateful beyond belief for all the support that we've had for it. So you go check that out, give us some feedback, that'd be great. So hopping into the topic, we're going to be talking about H1Z1, which is a free-to-play open-world MMO sandbox zombie apocalypse game. Now, some of those words you've heard, obviously, you know, considering with the backdrop we have with gameplay of Dayz, with the mod and Standalone being actually extremely successful and kind of making a splash in the news, bringing sandbox games have been popular, you know, with Just Cause 2, Grand Theft Auto, all those kind of games have been popular. But this kind of survival-esque game type slash, you know, this kind of genre has really been making an explosion in the market, and I really think it's to do with the success with Dayz. Other people see the success that it has and tries to jump on the market. Now, there have been some tarnished releases, such as H1Z1, I believe it was called. I don't know what it's been renamed to, which are just money cash-ins, absolutely trash products that should have never you should have never paid for. You know, it's bull crap, honestly, and it was really jumping on the whole zombie splash in the market, and it's a shame that people did that, but you know, we can't undo the past. We can only learn from the past and affect the future. So H1Z1 is actually kind of making a difference. It's a free-to-play version of these very popular games, which it's kind of weird to think about it, that it's going to be a free-to-play, which then worries me. So H1Z1, obviously you get the name, and it kind of, for me, obviously it's a play off H1N1, which was swine flu that happened in, I think, 2009. It was a huge virus that kind of spread over America for the most part. I know it was in Michigan. Actually, I'm about 80% sure that I actually had it at one point during my junior year of high school. It was pretty crazy. But yeah, so I don't, whatever, it's a play off the thing, you know. Hopefully within a couple weeks or whatever, it'll start to roll off the tongue just like Dayz does, even though Dayz is like a fantastic name, to be honestly. So it's a free to play. There will be microtransactions, and basically the core structure, from what I understand, is they're really basing it off of other staples in the community of the genre, like Dayz, like Rust, like I'm trying to think of the name of the other one that I have, the Dead Linger. Actually, I haven't played that in a while, so I'm gonna see how well they're doing with that one. So there's a lot of crafting. You have to search for your items. You die for the most part, and you lose your stuff. From what I understand, like, this game just popped up in the last couple of days. I mean, literally just popped up. I've never heard of what Sony Entertainment has been working on, and that's who's publishing this, Sony Entertainment, people who made PlanetSide 2. Actually, it's running off the same engine of PlanetSide 2, which, if you know what PlanetSide 2 is, there were lots of problems in the beginning with the infrastructure of the game, causing it to chug on machines and stuff like that. but it's got, 3,000 players in a single server, isn't it? I'm pretty sure it's 3,000 players in a single server. And that's insane considering you think of like Call of Duty, that's like 6v6. Obviously map size and stuff like that varies. You can have 3,000 people playing on a single map of Call of Duty. Obviously we're talking, but Dayz specifically only runs around 40, I think is the max right now. It was like 24 to 40, right in that range. So they're trying to bring that kind of intensity of what PlanetSide 2 has to this genre. And they've been quoted of saying they can run, thousands of people on a single server. And, man, I don't know exactly how this is all going to go down with the release and everything. It's they said they're hoping on a possible early access release on Steam within about a month and 2 weeks. They said 4 to 6 weeks, basically. So I will be purchasing it just for the reason of trying it out and seeing how it compares against Dayz. I am very interested in it. It does seem not exactly as a new take on Dayz and what Dayz is, but it might be an advancement. Right now with Dayz obviously being in early access alpha, you can't really criticize it for what it is, all right? You have to take the bad with the good and understand that this is kind of just what Dayz is right now. And so let's say if this game comes along and it kind of like does exactly what Dayz wants to do in Endgame, because they were talking about base building right away. They were talking about extreme amounts of people on it. Not to mention the environment that you're going to be in is, I find, extremely interesting. It's going to be built in the United States. I feel like that'll be a really cool take on the zombie genre. Right now, for me specifically, most of the stuff that you play on with Dayz and all the mods are usually European areas like Russia and stuff around there. You don't really come across a very United States feeling, obviously, and that's it's me being a patriot or whatever. If I'm gonna fight a zombie apocalypse, I want to be in the United States, obviously, because I can only imagine Russian zombies are just gonna be entirely too badass for me to handle. I don't think I could properly handle a Russian zombie. Maybe a fat American zombie, whatever. I'm just messing around. So I'm interested to see how this game goes. So with War Z, I don't think that was meant to be a free-to-play game, but it had microtransaction in it. And whenever there's microtransactions in a paid game, it worries me, because that's just bad ethics. With Call of Duty, I'm trying to think any other actual game that does that, and the only thing that comes to my head is Call of Duty. Now, obviously, you're only paying for personalization packs, and okay, that's all right. Personalization packs for microtransactions, that's okay. We're all right with that. But when it comes to buying guns and buying specific supplies, that's what kind of ends up worrying me is with this game, that you'll be able to literally purchase out a kit so that you can do better than other survivors. And I think that'll literally make or break this game depending on how they do this. If they do it where you can buy supplies and car batteries and guns and bullets and axes and whatever, that will literally in every way ruin this game for me. I probably won't play it ever again, which would be a shame, because this has tons of potential of being a good game, especially with what they're talking with the numbers of having thousands of players, having a ginormous world the size of PlanetSide 2. PlanetSide 2 is a very large game, and I don't know how it compares to with what Dayz is, and I'm gonna have to look that up. I wonder if because Dayz is a 200. I'm not even going to try to quote what it is because I can't specifically remember, but, it'd be really interesting to see how PlanetSide 2 sizes up against Dayz Standalone, or the mod in general. So, the sizing, what they're planning on doing, and how they're taking elements of that I enjoy from other games like Dayz and Rust and stuff like that, and then the crafting system they're talking about will be extremely in-depth. So hopefully everything goes good and they don't ruin it with microtransactions. And with it being a free-to-play game, that opens up the whole idea of, the pay gate, right? So if you get into Dayz Standalone, you have to pay for it, right? And there's a lot of people who are off-put by it. So the community will probably be smaller compared to if you had a successful free-to-play game that gives proper exposure, it could take off technically and just having a ginormous supportive community. They're also talking about a lot of support from the community with like add-ons and specific things that'll make the game better, maybe even map add-ons or weapons, stuff like that. So hopefully everything takes off. At this point, I can't substantially say, this is good or this is bad, because there's a lot of good, but there seems to also be a lot of bad. And there's also a very large gray line where it's like, because they're making these very ambitious quotes. Like, I understand PlanetSide 2 runs 3,000 people on a server and does fairly well. And they even said if you can run PlanetSide 2, you'll be able to run this game with no problem. It'll run even better than PlanetSide 2. But then, you think about zombies, and the reason why Dayz is so sluggish is because the amount of, the zombies are being put in. So if they don't put enough zombies in just to make the performance better, then it's going to be boring because it's only going to be player and player. If the zombies aren't a threat, and that's something that's been bogging down on Dayz. The zombies are not a threat. The only real threat are people. And I would like to have an element of the zombies being a threat to me instead of just worrying about who's looking at me with what. So if they put enough zombies in where it balances out and then the performance doesn't suffer, then this could be a good game. And like I said already, with the area setting being within the United States, I am extremely intrigued and excited to see it. The stills that I've seen have looked beautiful. They've honestly looked extremely gorgeous, and I really can't wait to play it within a month's time. So other than that, guys, I'll be posting any information that I find on this topic in the upcoming weeks. And so I think it said next week there's going to be a live stream of them doing a playtest. So I'll definitely be tuning into that, and I'll update you guys what I find. So other than that, guys, if you like this video, hit the like button, leave in the comment section below telling me what you think about H1Z1 and your thoughts on the whole idea of a free-to-play game coming into this kind of genre. And hit the subscribe button if you're new here. Also follow me on my Twitter, and I'll check you guys in the next video. Peace.